kicked on. Well, I ain't gonna lie, I had to walk away from that one. I was a little upset. Oh, maybe more than a little upset. I don't know. It'd probably been a month trying to get a radiator for this thing. And in a couple minutes, it was destroyed. But I don't know who I'm upset with. Am I upset with the people that made the fan, the people that made the radiator, or myself? Probably myself. I probably did something thinking about it, and I don't know, maybe I didn't provide enough clearance for the shroud. Maybe I pulled that fan down, distorted a little bit. I don't know. It ran for a few seconds, several seconds actually. I went back and watched the video, and it ran for probably 4 or 5 seconds fine. Before it actually started chewing up the radiator. And it sounded like something came loose in there. And I don't know if it's those little, there's some clips on the fan blades that are balancing weights. I don't know if one of those flung off of there and just started all this to happening. I don't know. But I'm gonna yank this thing back out of there, put it over here on the workbench, start taking it apart, and try to do a little bit of forensic files. Figure out what the culprit is. I did get a 2-year warranty, but I don't know if it covers what happened. So worst case scenario, I buy another radiator. This other radiator, like I said, it probably won't leak. So I could actually throw this other one that I have in there in place of this one. But I got to figure out what the problem is first so that it don't happen again. Because chewing up $300 radiators can get pricey. So let's get it took apart and see what's going on. Okay, so here it is. I went ahead and yanked it out. I didn't record none of that. You can already kind of see, you can see the damage already. And I do not see the balancing clips at all. Now, whether or not that caused the problem, I don't know. We're going to try to find out. Go ahead and take this off of here. Seems like I just put this on. Weird. Doesn't feel excessively tight. It's on there. All right, look right here. There are the balancing tabs right there. I don't know what that is stuck on that one, but I'm thinking that is what caused this problem. Doesn't look like the fan itself is incredibly damaged. I mean, there's some pitting on the blades now, some scarring, I guess you'd say, from those things bouncing around in there. That is a piece of plastic stuck in that one. I don't know if I can find which blades these were stuck on originally. I don't know. I'm going to spin this thing up. Actually, it doesn't really look like it's wobbling or anything. And it's a good distance. If you look at it. It's a pretty good distance from the radiator. The fan itself is. I mean, it's a good 3/8 of an inch, 5/16 probably, of an inch away from the radiator. But man, it sure did a number on this radiator. I don't know, maybe it spun up and sucked down onto the radiator. Doesn't look like it can get there. I think this is the culprit. These balancing clips. Wonder how out of balance it is without them on there. I don't know, let's hook it up to some power and spin it up just to see. The way I had this wired up, this is a reversible fan. It'll pull or push. The blue I had as hot and the black I had as ground. So if we do that, that's actually pushing, which is not what I want. Now, I'm not sure which side of the blades these clips were on. Maybe these clips needed to be put on the other side of the blade to push. I didn't want it to push. It's opposite what I wanted. But maybe they were on the side for pulling, and then I had it wired up to push, so maybe that's what caused them to sling off. They shouldn't. I mean, there's some pretty sharp barbs on here. They shouldn't come off either way. There was no literature with this fan that came from Champion Cooling Systems. It came as a kit with the fan and the shroud and actually the wiring and relay and all that stuff, which I didn't need any of that. I already had that wired up in the car. It shouldn't make any difference. It didn't come with any literature, but I'm sure you don't have to take these off and move them to the other side. But I still don't know why they came off. But that's what caused all this carnage. But what I want to do is just check it out. I'm going to switch it, the polarity of it, so it's a puller now. And I can feel a little vibration. It's not a lot, but I can feel a little bit of vibration. What I've got another option here, I think. I've got another fan over here that I bought off the shelf at O'Reilly. And I already had this here. And it'll fit the radiator too. It's a straight bladed fan. It's got red and black wires because I'm just going to assume the red is positive for pulling. But let's check it out and see. Yeah, I can feel that. This actually seems like it moves more air than the other one. My only concern is the height of it. I did a quick measurement, and I believe it's the same. as that one, as far as the depth goes. But my shroud won't fit it. But this thing feels a lot smoother. I mean, with it running, I feel zero vibration with it running. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to use this fan, and I'm just going to put it on that other radiator that was damaged, that I ended up getting for free because it was damaged. And because I really don't, it doesn't look like it's going to leak. I hope it doesn't leak. But what I'm going to do is use that radiator. What I got to lose? I mean, for real. I may have to buy another radiator anyway. So I'm going to put this fan on that other radiator and see if I can get that to go in there. And I'm not going to use a shroud. We're just going to zip tie this thing to it and hope for the best. Just want to wiggle that down through there. To the other side. Let it break on through to the other side, Jim Morrison. That's pretty smooth. All right, let's try this again. Oh crap, that's what I did. Put my plug on the wrong side. Yeah. Probably be okay. Let me get some zip ties. All right, let's see. Hopefully we didn't lose our clearance. Oh, God. Oh, we did. Not all of it, but man, most of it. We're back to about 100 thousandths again. And I'm not exactly sure that the bolts are going to clear. Let's bolt it up and see how much we pull out of it. All right, it did help some, but we literally have, I mean, about 1/8 of an inch, and it's just barely clearing those bolts. And the center of this fan is a little bit lower. If it was higher up, that'd be something, but I don't like it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it back out. I'm going to come in here. And if you look at these flanges right here, turn this light on. There's a little step out right here, about 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to hammer those down flat. That'll give me another 1/8 because I got to have room to get the belt on and off. As it is right now, well, actually I don't need that. The belt goes around that way. That's not going to hurt me, but I'm going to pound these down, try to gain a little extra clearance. Okay, so the fan's mounted. I do have those tabs on the core support flattened out, so that should gain us at least another 1/8 of an inch of clearance. I've got the holes in the core support actually oblonged a little bit to where I can pull this up to put this more in the center of the water pump. And we should have plenty of clearance still to clear the hood, so it's not a big deal here. And now I just want to go ahead and just test this with it hooked to the radiator. I got just temporary wiring just stuck in these plugs here. And so red to positive, black to negative. Well, it fell out on me. This is extremely temporary. Right? And it's already run longer than the other one did. I think all we really need now is to make sure that we've centered this up a little better and we have good clearance there, and then hopefully this radiator doesn't leak. All right, let's put it in there. Okay, let's try this again. Let's see here. Looks like now that I've moved these tabs in, now the bottom is against the transmission cooler lines. We'll try to run those through the side here. See if I can reroute those a little bit. I think that'll work. Once I get the radiator in there, they'll hold. Oh boy. Yeah, that's better. Okay, we're all buttoned up again. I was able to get the clearance that I wanted here. I've got good clearance there, at least 3/8 of an inch of even a risk of the bolts hitting, and even more for the center on the nipple of the water pump. Everything's mounted up, everything's hooked up. We're going to go ahead and put some coolant in here again. Hope this doesn't leak. Now, I do not see any coolant running down yet. Now, getting it pressurized may be a different story. All right, let's fire it up. see any leaking. It's our temperature now. 186. I think he's got that set to 190, 192 maybe. It's a little warmer than I like it, but it might be what the sniper requires. I don't know. Once I get past this point, get past all this radiator stuff, and can actually get out and drive the car, then I'll mess with the sniper a lot more. I'll try to learn a lot more about it. I've been fighting this radiator fan deal. Something so simple, and I've done a bunch of them. So there it goes. The fan is on. See what it does. All right, it's dropping. Got up to 192, 88, 87. Cooling it down pretty quick. And kick back off. So it gets up to 192, fan comes on, back down to 180 and the fan goes off. Let's wrap the throttle a couple times. Alright, looks like the belt has calmed down. Looks like the belt has calmed down good. Don't see any leaks. All that is residual coolant from the last catastrophe we had. Let me get down here and look. Okay, I think we're in the clear as far as the radiator goes. So the radiator that they gave me for free actually is good. Who knew? I didn't know. I wasn't expecting them to give it to me. I thought I was going to have to send it back, but they said just to recycle it, so I did. I recycled it right onto my car. So looks like I'll be recycling the good one. That ain't so good anymore. Okay, we're going to conclude this video now. For sure, we're done. Fan just kicked back on again. 190. No, not 192. Okay, so we're going to conclude this video now for good. For sure this time. We got this radiator and fan lined out. Sniper good enough lined out to drive it and let it learn a little bit. Maybe the alternator too. It's not squeaking right now, so that's a good sign. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and comment, subscribe if you feel so inclined to. I would sure appreciate it. But until next time, keep on rocking.